Howdy y'all, welcome back for another video on the Valarm Industrial IoT sensor monitoring channel. Make sure you're subscribed, click that little subscribe button down below, help your YouTube algorithm, and if at the end of this video we've earned your thumbs up, and smash that like button. Give us a thumbs up. Today, we're going over one of our blog articles from www.valarm.net/blog. And today's exciting episode is about IoT, or Internet of Things, sensor monitoring with Amazon, AWS, or Amazon Web Services, S3 data exports. Let's dig right into it. Do your teams, and your organization need to automatically export your industrial IoT sensor measurements to any cloud platform? With tools.valarm.net's data exports features, you can set up export jobs for automated delivery of your assets and environmental monitoring information. Whether you're monitoring water levels, flood warning systems, or anything else, your export jobs can be configured for various online cloud-based platforms like Google Drive and Google Sheets, Microsoft OneDrive, Amazon AWS S3, which is what's covered in this blog post, and we'll go into a deep dive of details below. You can also configure your export jobs to send your IoT sensor data to FTP Servers or Dropbox. In this article, today we'll specifically go over step-by-step details on how to set up IoT data export jobs for Amazon AWS S3, aka Simple Storage Service, SSS, which is a simple cloud storage service, as the name implies. Let's get going. First off, you log in to your tools.valarm.net account and go to your device manager. Find which of your industrial IoT sensor devices you'd like to use for data export to your Amazon S3 account folders. Once you're in your device manager, looking at your devices on tools.valarm.net, and you found which device you'd like to use for data export to Amazon S3, then click the Export Jobs button on your device manager page so we can set up your new S3 export job. Now, once you've arrived at your export jobs page on tools.valarm.net, it'll look something like this, and you'll see a green button for creating a new export job. Go ahead and click that button to create a new export job for your industrial IoT sensor measurements. And once you've clicked that button, you'll see a window pop up where we will configure your Amazon AWS S3 IoT export job. First up in your configuration is the basics section give your export job a name and some notes in the text fields. That way, when you, your teams, or anyone at your organization comes back to this export job, you'll know the exact details of what this export job does and why you created it. Next up, we'll configure the output and destination settings for your export job. Under Storage Service, make sure you choose the Amazon S3 in the drop-down menu. And for your AWS region, enter the name of the AWS region where your S3 bucket is located. Examples are US West 2 or US East 3. For a complete list, you can see the link in our blog post of the AWS regions and availability zones. Now under S3 bucket name, type in the name of your S3 bucket. Enter your IAM user access key and your IAM user secret in the indicated fields. And next up is your S3 storage class configuration. Select the storage class you'd like to use for your exported files. Storage classes allow you to scale your need for durability and availability against cost. You can read more at Amazon's S3 storage classes page linked in our blog. If you'd like to save space on your servers, choose a compression type in the drop-down menu. Compression will greatly reduce the size of your exported file, saving significant space on your storage medium while speeding up transit time and reducing consumed bandwidth. In most cases, GZ or GunZip offers the best compression, and Zip is also excellent. The only reason to select none or compression is if you're running an automated process against the exported file, which absolutely cannot handle a compressed file. Type in the folder directory where you'd like to save your exported Industrial IoT sensor measurements, and now choose a file name format for your IoT sensor export job. You can choose a file name format of device name and date range, where a file name will be generated using the name of your device or device group that is the source of the data and the date time range of the query. You can also choose a file name format for job name and timestamp, and then the file name will be generated from your job name field of this export job, appended with a timestamp for the moment it runs. Prefix and timestamp uses a prefix that you supply in the file name prefix field, and it'll be combined with the timestamp of the moment this IoT export job runs. The option, as you see selected here in our example, is static fixed, where you can input the explicit, complete, and exact file name to use for your export. If you leave this field blank, a default file name will be used. Note, unlike the other file naming options, this option does not append the file format extension and or compression type extensions to the file name. Whatever you enter in the static field file name will be exactly the name of your exported file. As you can see here, we included the .csv.zip. Note that if you include characters which are illegal in the output destination, your export may fail. Now, based on your choice for your file name format, you may enter additional file name info in the text field. Data generation is the last configuration section that will fill out. You choose the schedule of how often you'd like to automatically export your IoT sensor measurements to Amazon S3. These schedule times are on the hour. Thus, daily means at midnight, twice daily means at noon and midnight. Weekly is Saturday night at midnight. Let it all hang out. We'll select manual if you wish to trigger the job manually whenever you want it to run, as we've done in this example. Next up, you'll choose a time zone, like UTC. This time zone will be used to render timestamps in your exported data, as well as to name the output file. It will also be used when specifying a query time span for manual triggered jobs. If you're configuring a manually scheduled export job, then you can choose a date range from and to dates. Select a single device source type and choose the source for which of your industrial IoT sensor devices you'd like to export data. For your output format, your file can be made in your choice of formats like JSON, Chef, or comma separated value, CSV, like we've chosen in this example. Now choose your output columns, custom column names, group, and aliases you'd like to use for column headers on your exported IoT sensor measurements. For more info, have a gander at the tutorial mentioned in our blog for configuring aliases and custom field names. If you'd like to filter out any of your data, like only exporting IoT sensor measurements less than or greater than your custom value, then you can enable threshold filtering. Export filtering allows you to set logical comparator threshold values that each event record must satisfy in order to be included in your exported data. The configurable options are identical to Valarm's outbound alerts and other functions which use thresholds on Valarm Tools Cloud to make decisions about incoming data. Last up, choose your sort order. This is the order that your exported IoT data file will list the measurements based on timestamps. You can choose to sort in descending or ascending order, based on whether you want your latest sensor measurements to be at the top or on the bottom of your exported IoT data file. Now remember to click that green save button to save your tools.valarm.net IoT sensor data export for Amazon AWS 3. Then you can click on the Run Now button for your IoT export job. And that's it. After you've clicked Run, you'll see your IoT sensor measurements in your desired S3 folder after you see an OK status on your export jobs list. You'll see when your job was last run and the last message. In our case here, we see the file, your IoT sensors, valarm.csv.zip, was successfully uploaded to Amazon S3. So let's go check it out. Since we've run our job, we'll go here to our S3 folder on Amazon AWS. You see our file exactly as we configured it. IoT sensors, Valarm, CSV zip, and we can download that sensor information and do whatever we need to do. So in this example screenshot, you can see we downloaded the IoT device data from Amazon S3 and opened it in Microsoft Excel to verify the contents. That's your overview of how to use tools.valarm.net's IoT export jobs with Amazon S3 AWS. Please don't hesitate to get in touch with me at info@valarm.net if you've got any questions. Once again, this is Edward from Valarm signing out, and remember to click the subscribe button and ring that bell so you get an alert whenever we launch and send out new videos like this one. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching.